I don't know what it was. I was like, Rachel McAdams. Like, she's awesome. I don't know what just happened.
We have ignition sequence start. The engines are on. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
It makes people feel good to say they're successful, but productive is so much better.
What does a win look like for you? If you don't know what a win looks like for you, then you're hoping to get lucky, and we all know hope's not a strategy.
If you focus on money, you're never going to have any. And if you focus on people, you'll have all the money you need.
I think the biggest thing is just staying consistent and communicating with your clients with what's going on. If it's bad news, give them the bad news. If it's good news, give them the good news, but you can't be afraid of telling them.
Making real estate simple. That's it.
All systems are go. Over.
What's up? Welcome back to the simpliHŌM podcast. I'm joined with Appy, right?
Yeah.
Appy, the droid, and our good friend, Mr. Derek Trainer. We're going to talk today about personal branding in the real estate business. And we've been doing this for a while together.
We have. I actually had a conversation about you the other day, and I said, and I want to say I'm right, but I'm not. You've been in 6 or 8 months more than me?
My 8th year is July. July 15th will be my 8th year.
So yes.
Yeah, I
6
guess.
months. Because I was December.
Okay. Yep.
Perfect. That makes sense then.
And I was convinced when we first met that you hated me.
What? We talked about that when you recruited me to simpliHŌM. I was like, no. I was convinced this guy hates me.
So then one day in 2020.
I was convinced
right?
you were a multi-millionaire.
Well, you were very wrong, my friend.
I'm just saying.
So it was 2020, right?
When we talked
finally,
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2020.
Yeah. I guess in the middle of COVID, we went to the GOAT in Murfreesboro. We scheduled an hour. We spent 3.
That's when it's good.
And then you decided to join me on this crazy ride.
And it's been awesome.
It's been fun.
I've enjoyed every minute of it. It's definitely been something that has been cool to watch because, you know, I knew you before you went into this world. You were just selling real estate. We were both, you know, I'd be at a house and you'd show up on your crotch rocket and I'd be like, oh, Sean just showed up. We're going to lose this one, guys. Sorry. Just go ahead and get back in the car. Sean, good seeing you, buddy. We're going to go ahead and write this offer, even though we're not going to win it. Bye.
I did try that for a while. I tried I bought a motorcycle and I justified it to my wife by, hey, I'm going to meet new people who ride motorcycles. And then I learned that unless you ride Harleys, they're all broke. So they can't buy houses. And I wasn't going to ride a Harley. So then I convinced the IRS I used it for business all the time. So
It's called an entrepreneur right there. Oh, the IRS. I use business all the time.
yeah, 10,000 miles on this motorcycle for sure.
You did 10,000 miles on that?
Yeah, in 1 year. Yeah.
I knew you drove it all the time, but dang.
It was fun. But then all the investors of simpliHŌM were like, nah,
you should
get off the bike.
probably get off the bike.
Yeah. But
instead buy a multi-million-dollar.
Okay. We don't have to lie.
Oh. It's my bad.
All right. Tell me the story of Appy since nobody knows.
Yeah, sure. So we went to Disney. I don't know about you guys, but my family is kind of obsessed with Disney World. And
I've never been.
Bethany, if you're watching, just chill, breathe. It's okay.
Just breathe.
No, it's so we went to Disney World we've been with crew multiple times, but the time that she was able to actually build a droid, which is one of the things I've been wanting to do. And of course, I have to let her do it, even though I'm the one wanting to do it.
Right, of course.
But watching her do it was really cool. She had no idea what she was doing, we think, but it looks very much like...
Looks like you helped.
No, but I'm not dark side dude. So I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. So she built this up. We put it all together and we have it at home. We destroy this. Thing's got cuts and dings on it everywhere, but it still works and he's still just hanging in. But she came home. She called it Appy because she wanted an applesauce. But like we said, are you calling the droid Appy And she was like, yeah.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
like, oh, okay, cool. And then she was like, but I do want an applesauce. And I was like, all right, cool. So yeah, we got Appy here today. So may the
Sweet.
4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Yeah, we've never done Disney World, and I don't do crowds very well.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so
You would hate it.
So I'm more of like an off-peak guy. Like when everyone's going somewhere, I'm trying to go to the other place. And so I don't quite know when the off-peak time for Disney World is, if there even is one. But I did learn from a random blogger, because I read blogs. I have so much spare time for blogging. No, I learned about this, like, this is going to sound so bougie. I can't believe I'm about to say this.
This is going to be great.
About the VIP tour.
Yes.
At Disney.
The back,
and it's like, yeah, and it's not that expensive if you get a group of people together. I think it's like, I don't remember the cost. I want to say it's like $7,500 for the day or something.
Yeah, but you
can get like 10 people can go in that group. Yeah, and they just pick you up and drive you around to all the places, and you don't have to deal with all the crap. And I looked at Samantha and I was like, that's it. That's the only way I'm going to Disney. I can't do this.
Do it, dude.
Because we went to Busch Gardens a year and a half ago.
I bet you hated it.
I was miserable. Yeah. I was furious. I didn't go to make bad memories with my kids, but I certainly succeeded. It was wonderful. Like we rode 2 rides and I bitched the entire time. Like I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I waiting an hour? I paid $100 a seat for the fast pass thing. You're still waiting an hour to go on a ride. I'm like, what is happening?
Dude, I am way different. And I think it's because of my ADD.
All right.
I think because I'm so much everywhere else that like, oh, the line's over.
Oh,
it doesn't bother me, but that's just me.
Yeah. No, I'm like, why am I still here?
There's so much more I could be doing right now.
Exactly. All right. So we've been in approximately the same amount of time. You guys took home a whole bunch of awards at our awards ceremony a few weeks ago.
It was awesome.
You crushed 2022. You've crushed every year that I remember. And you guys run your business like a business, which I love. So many people don't. They get into this real estate game and they're like, oh man, I've got this job, and then the phone doesn't ring, so they don't do anything. You're proactive. You're always doing events for your people. You're making sure the experience is dialed in and tight, but it all starts at the top of the funnel to get them in, right? With all your video content stuff that you guys do. But then the personal branding from my position, I view personal branding as the marketing that's going out, but also the experience that's happening, and then the follow-up. So through that, I kind of want to talk through it from start to finish and what that looks like. You're probably the only guest that has been on the podcast in recent memory that is as comfortable on camera and microphone as I am, because you're on it all the time. Yeah. But you didn't start comfortable probably, right?
Ooh, man.
Yeah, same.
I can actually, okay. If you go back, and it's just funny, if you search my name, just Derek, D-E-R-E-K, trainer, T-R-A-I-N-E-R, on YouTube, that took forever to populate me as the first thing that pops up, which is our Smart Moves channel. It's our YouTube channel. But go on YouTube, search that. And if you go to back to our original video, first video we ever did, actually there's a couple of them that are just horrible, but the first video we ever did, it's the most awkward. God, and Bethany's on there too. So like, it's just awkward. And if you look back on it, I'm like, why did this sounds terrible. And like compare it to a video that's now, it's just night and day. Cause we've been doing this over 3 years.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that. I didn't even think about it until the other day. And I'm like, man, I've been doing video for 3 years. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But it's been a ride, man. We've had a blast doing it. I've learned how to be on camera a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't know how long it would last. I thought, we're going to do a few videos and it just is what it is. And I was like, no, this is a part of what we do now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and it was a big part of our conversation in 2020 when, I mean, you were still at the front end of it, I guess. You were maybe 6 months in on it. And you were like, hey, like, I'm going to keep doing this video thing. I'm like, do the video thing.
Yeah. And I have to. You have to have video. And I mean, everything is a pivot. So when the market shifts, whether that's, it goes to a buyer's market, a seller's market, a whatever market, there's that. And then there's also your marketing shifts.
Yep.
So marketing shifts can happen where it's, okay, now it's long form video, you need to be on YouTube. And then all of a sudden it shifts and it's, oh, now it's reels, and everybody has a 30-second span of time that they're able to pay attention to you because they can't pay attention. And then now all of a sudden it's going back to long form video again.
Yeah.
And it's ever changing. It's just like real estate. It's just ever changing, and the ebbs and flows of it's really cool, but just being able to pivot back and forth. But video has been at the core, I feel like, when it comes to real estate, for real estate agents, it's been at the core of marketing for at least the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really changed. I mean, yeah, short form, long form, but overall video content in general, content and getting out there and putting your name out there has been really important.
Yeah. So with it, obviously the first step is to start, right? Like most agents are going to sit there and go, man, I know I need to do video, but I look bad on camera, or I sound weird, or whatever. And okay, like just do it.
Yep.
You'll get over yourself. But how do you strike, because YouTube, for an example, or all video content generally is going to be categorized as either entertainment or education.
Right.
How do you strike a balance between those two in what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so that's something that we talked about originally, and it's been a topic of conversation during every strategy meeting. But typically what you want to do, I'd say, if I was to give any type of advice, if you're getting started into video at all, prime example, Timothy Collins. He's a simpliHŌM agent. I love him to death. Love you, Tim. You're amazing. Great guy. He was out one day. I don't remember who he was with. I can't remember, but he was in the fountains over in Murfreesboro, and she was filming him do something. And I was like, what are you doing? Because I just didn't know. I had no idea what he was doing. He's like, well, she says I need to be doing more content. You know, I feel so uncomfortable and I don't want to be on camera, but I got to do it. I got to do it. Since that day, all of a sudden I'm seeing all this content from him. And it's stuff that's like intriguing. It's stuff that's like, you can tell he enjoys what he's talking about, which I think is extremely important, because if you don't enjoy what you're talking about, you're not going to want to do it long term. Number one. Number two, you're not going to feel comfortable on camera ever.
Yeah.
So you got to know what you're talking about and enjoy what you're talking about. But when it comes to the starting, you're going to be uncomfortable on camera. Everybody's going to watch this video. Who cares? Be yourself. That's the biggest key. No matter what, you have to be yourself, because if you're not, everybody's going to see it. How many realtors are there here in Middle Tennessee? 19,000, 20,000? Yeah. Everybody is doing video content. Everybody's looking awkward. Some people do, some people don't. Some people look great, some people don't. Like, it is what it is, but it's all about getting that content out there and being front of mind so that you can get business off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Brett. He's a little more crass than I am, but he always says, Brett? Yeah, weird, right? He goes, yeah, if you look stupid on video, it's because you look stupid in person.
Dear Lord. Crass is a word.
I'm like, I mean, there's things we can learn, right? I mean, when I first started doing video, I was so uncomfortable. I would film a CEO update, which was like 5 to 7 minutes, and it would take me an hour and a half to film it, because the first like hour and 22 minutes was me trying to get my shit together. Like, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't, like,
so awkward.
I was so embarrassed because there'd be like one other person in the room. I'm like, get out of the room. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's so
But
awkward.
now I can get in front of a group and still just look at a camera and dial in and like go, because it becomes like second nature, really. So, we're out here, we're doing this video thing. You've got tons and tons of content pushing out all the time. You've got your shorts, you've got YouTube shorts and reels on Facebook and Instagram, the whole thing. And then you've got your long form. One of the advantages I would argue is probably that when people come in, they meet you for the first time in person, they feel like they already know you, right? So you're removing a lot of barriers through that introduction.
Correct.
Right? Okay. And then you go into, they become a client. What do you feel that you do differently when you're taking them from top of funnel into that client experience, the introduction of the client experience? What are you doing differently that's a personal branding thing that makes you and Bethany so memorable?
So another thing that's really cool. So in our branding, it started out as me, and then Bethany, my wife, came on as a real estate agent. I think it's been 2 years in June.
Gosh, has it?
Yeah, in June.
Wow.
So the reason why is because we're doing the CE credits right now. We're like, oh crap, we got to do this.
Oh no.
So we're in the middle of doing that. She's got one on the Monday we get back from vacay, but anyways, we originally, even with her not being in real estate, she's so much a part of my life that I was like, I want people to understand that it's not just me that they're dealing with. Like, I have a family, and I want people to see that I have a family. And then when she got into real estate, it was like, oh, even more so, they're familiar with my family, but now it's me and my wife.
Yeah.
So in group text messages, whether it's like, say it's a client that saw our videos and said, hey, or saw something on Facebook that we posted and said, hey, we want to go see that house. This happened a couple days ago. We were like, sure, we don't know you, but let's talk. And we chatted. But it was because my wife said something, and then both my wife and I collectively dialed in on that client, made them a client, said, okay, met with them, showed them the house, got them pre-approved with our lender. From the time you meet with us, it's like you're meeting the person that you've seen the entire time.
Right.
Until well after you close, you're going to see us constantly at our client appreciation events. We reach out via monthly on a newsletter. We also reach out and do little bitty gifts here or there. We do Christmas gifts. We just do so much more there. When you close, after you've gone through the client experience of just from contract to close, when you close, you also get branded T-shirts, you get branded mugs, you get branded calendars, you get branded everything. So we want our calendars in your house so that, and we get people every year. They're like, hey, did you get the calendars yet? Because they're writable, you can write on them. It's not just little pocket calendars.
Yeah.
So they're on your fridge. They're this big.
Yep.
Everybody's like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever. I don't know what I'll do without this calendar. But it has all of our QR codes for everything. So now, well, we have one QR code on there now, but it'll take you to every single thing we have. So your branding, it's also on brand with our colors. So our color scheme's the same. So black, white, and then we have this beigeish color. I don't even know how to say it. I guess beige.
Beigeish, yeah. No, that sums it up.
Yeah, beigeish color. And like this like dark gray. And that's all a part of all of our branding. It's shirts, it's the calendars, it's everything. But we want to be front of mind. And so many people drink coffee. Coffee mugs are super important. Everybody loves them. We get ones that are huge because that's what people like. They don't want to keep refilling the small ones.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the little touches like that. And then after the close, that's the other piece to me that's so important, is staying in front of mind with the newsletter that goes out. Staying in front of mind. And in our newsletter is pretty cool. I know you get it because you always are like, thanks, man. I love this newsletter. I'm like, thanks, dude. It means a lot. I really appreciate that. But we always put now Kimber's, but Crew's Corner in there where you get a little piece of what we have as a daughter. Like, Crew is, she's 4 now, which is just nuts.
Wild. Yeah.
God, it's just weird. Got a 2-month-old, but we're like putting the photos up and what she loves, and like being able to show that personal experience. It's not all about real estate.
Right.
It's about like, hey, you've gotten to know us through this contract to close, but then after you close, like, we want you to be like our family. We want to be there with you every step of the way, whether it's you're selling or a friend of yours is selling or whatever. That's fine, but we want to be friends with you too.
Yeah. And there's, in the real estate space, that's incredible, because in the real estate space as a whole, I think the statistic from National Association of Realtors is that 89% of people would use their realtor again, but they forgot who they are.
Yep. But there's also a percentage that goes with that it's like, I think it's only 4% of agents. This was a long time ago when I read it, so it might be different now, but only 4% of agents follow up or even talk to their client after they close ever again.
It's crazy.
That to me is just the most untapped potential in the industry.
Yeah, untapped potential, but that transactional mindset is what creates the epidemic of realtors failing at the rate in which they fail.
It's also something that originally, I've kind of shifted it a little bit, but my original tagline was changing the way people view the realtor. And the reason why I had that was this exact example is so many agents do not discuss anything or talk to or call or check on or whatever their past client. As soon as they close, they're like, great, got my commission check and I'm out.
Yeah.
And that's created such a ripple effect with so many people that hate realtors just because it makes it look like you're a used car salesman getting your check and you bounce.
Yeah. Which means that from my perspective, it means that most realtors don't have a system and process in place. Obviously you guys do, because you have some structure of, hey, I got this monthly newsletter that's going out. I've got these appreciation events that you do on a quarterly basis?
We do the appreciation
Semi-annually?
event. We do it semi-annually. So we do two. Last year we did one that was a movie in the park type thing where we had ice cream and we had all kinds of other stuff. But that was a summer thing, but we realized it was really hot outside. And everybody that came was like, it's brutal. And it was fun. We had a blast. Everybody loved it that did come, but
Next year we'll have sprinklers.
now we're going to be inside, and it's going to be this year in July. We're going to be inside and
Nice.
doing a movie night. And then we do our annual cornhole tournament that we've done. This will be our 5th annual cornhole tournament, which is huge because I'm like, man, 5 years we've been doing this. I didn't realize that. But I thought about it with Bethany the other day. We were talking about it. But we do a cornhole tournament. We get snow cones. We get face paint. We get it catered. We get everything. We want to make it just this extreme experience. If you win the cornhole tournament or if you win the raffle, you're getting really big prizes. We gave out solo stoves last time. We gave out OGO bags.
Nice.
Like all kinds of stuff. So it's not like we're just wanting you to come and play cornhole and talk to you. Like we want to also give back to you in some little way. So
Love it. And then with the branded shirts, mugs, and calendars, I assume you guys are the distribution center for that for now?
yeah, for now. I mean, it's going to take a while before I let go of that. Just good. Unless I can figure out how to do it cheaper, which I'm all about. But
Yeah, you won't. But well, I guess when you calculate your time, that's when you have to look at it, because we're actually about to move our new agent boxes to a fulfillment center.
Really?
Yeah, well, because we're
At that point, it makes sense.
adding
I get that.
quite a lot of folks.
Sure.
So yeah,
But for me, yes, it is. We have our local
kitchen table, baby. That's it.
Well,
All right.
no, that's not true. No, I'm not even to that. Dang, man. I'm over here like, press the shirt. No. I do design the shirt, though. That is the cool part that I do enjoy.
I didn't say you were pressing the shirt. I
No,
meant
I know, I'm
packing,
just playing.
packing, shipping.
So I do enjoy the design piece of it. One thing that I've always wanted to do, which I haven't done because, I'll be honest, I don't know why I haven't done it, but I've always wanted to create like a hat company because I
Okay.
love hats. I'm not
Yeah,
wearing one today.
You do love hats, though.
I do. I love them.
And you're a stickler for quality of hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has to be a good quality hat. There's certain fits I hate. I could go and be super bougie about hats.
All right.
But I also am like, where can I get a deal on hats? So like I figured out different places that I can go to get a deal that's also custom. I don't have to order 50. I can order one at a time
Right.
and it still be reasonable. So I do that. And then, I design different types that go with a logo. I'll design stuff that go with it, like our new shirts. I designed that on Canva. Canva is the greatest app ever for it to be free. And if you want to go even for the business side of it, it's the greatest app of all time. But yes, we ultimately, we do outsource it to a company, but it's a local company and they're not that expensive for what we get because we use them as closing gifts. So we're not ordering like a ton.
Right.
It's just, yeah, it's fun. We enjoy it.
Yeah, and so most, and I'm speaking in general terms here. So if you guys get offended, then maybe I'm talking to you, maybe I'm not. I'm just going general. Most people in the real estate space, I've found, don't properly allocate any monies to go towards marketing advertising for a budget line item. Right. Mm-hmm. That whole check goes into the checking account that pays the house, pays the bills, and pays the gas, pays the food, all that. And then you get to, well, hey, we got to do these professional photos for this house.
Sure.
Damn, that's $300.
Out of your checking account.
Yeah, out of your checking account. And I want to send out shirts and mugs and calendars and doing a client appreciation event. But I mean, should I get a sponsor to pay for that? Because I don't have the money for it. So
Absolutely.
I assume you guys budget things out.
Sure.
Clearly. What percentage of that budget are you allocating towards those marketing things? Because when we're talking top of funnel, the way that you guys are doing video, now anyone out there could start video for zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got an iPhone or an Android. Yep. If you have an Android, trade it in and get an iPhone. But you've got an iPhone.
Dang.
Grant's like, I feel like I'm getting targeted.
It's fine, whatever.
No, I'm just kidding. But whatever you have, right? Like you can just hold it up and start filming.
Yep. 4K,
Doesn't
60
cost
PFS,
anything, right?
I mean, yeah.
But then you scale up and you go, hey, I've got somebody who's like professionally professional videographer, professional editor, doing all the stuff. So you've got money going towards that. You've got money going out on the back end for the appreciation stuff. How do you allocate that?
Sure. So for me, let's start with, if you're just now starting appreciation events, most of your appreciation event, if not all of your appreciation event, should be free to you. You should not pay a dime. So when we do our cornhole tournament, every year I have a preferred lender. I have a preferred insurance company. I have a preferred, what's the other one? There's one other one. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But I do have preferred business partners that come in and they pay for the gifts. They pay for the cornhole boards themselves because you can rent them. They pay for the catering. They pay for everything. So they put in what's called sponsor dollars, which you say, hey, you want to sponsor this? They're like, yeah. And we just discuss it. It's not even, hey, it's $500. It's just, we're going to discuss what makes sense. Well, we need catering. Cool, we'll cater it. Closed Title did ours last year. So there's another sponsor. Or I think they're the ones that actually paid for the catering, which was the best catering food I've ever had in my life. I don't remember her name. I would plug her right now. Just here you go. She's amazing.
Yeah.
You should use them. But anyway, they did a sponsorship last year. That's the one I forgot. But you can get all these things paid for. It's the planning it, and it's what do you want to do? So we did a cornhole tournament because I love cornhole. And so many people love cornhole down in the South. I was like, this would be a great event, especially during football season. We should try it. Blew out. It was amazing. First year, now we're going on 5, but we don't pay anything.
That's awesome.
So that's number one if you're going to do client appreciation events. Same with like if you do a movie night, which we're about to do our first one, but I've heard so much about, I know how to do them. I knew how to do them before. You get the lender to pay for the tickets, and you partner with a lender, you partner with anybody else, maybe an insurance. These guys are there to help you, but also promote their business.
Yeah.
So you're helping your friends or if you're not out there meeting insurance agents or lenders or whatever, you don't have that relationship built up, go meet somebody.
Yeah.
Because those business relationships that you're creating aren't just there for you to give business to. Like, oh, it's an insurance agent. Here's my insurance guy. Well, they need to be giving you business too, if they can. And then also they need to help in some way. And one way that they can help and they have no problem doing is marketing dollars. So that's one. The other thing, when it comes to shirts and everything, we just look at a lot of agents will bring in like a bottle of wine, a knife. I'm trying to think of closing gifts.
Cutco.
Now, I will say, hold on.
Okay.
Kristen is great with Cutco knives. Like, she does a great job. I'm not saying anything's bad with Cutco knives. I'm just saying, in my opinion, every gifts that we get people is all customized.
Yeah.
And it's all from the time that, we give out the shirts. Yes, we give out the calendar and the mug, but that's part of it.
Right.
The other part is we give a gift basket. We give blankets. Is there kids? The kids get blankets. Because these are things you're going to hold and touch. You're going to feel. You're going to love these blankets. They're not bad blankets. They're nice.
Right.
And you're going to be at home and you're going to have this blanket watching this show every single night after you close in your new house. And you're going to be thinking about the trainer group. That's what I want. I want to be front of mind. You have this big old basket, has all your blankets in it over here by your hearth. And all you're thinking about is us. So
Sean's over here Googling hearth.
Sorry. By your fireplace.
Oh, there it is. All right.
My bad. That's ridiculous. I love it. So we want to customize those things, but we take, okay, what is our commission going to be? And for us, we want to give back. And you're making such a large commission, and people don't understand that. 3% or if you get 3%, let's say it's 3%. You get 3% of whatever you're selling. Let's say it's a $500,000, $400,000 home, whatever the average sales price is right now. You're making great money on that.
Yeah.
Now, if you sell one a month, right, it's fine. If you sell one a month, then obviously it's going to be different if you have 5 closing in a month. But if even at one a month, that's still, you can allocate based off of a percentage that's comfortable for you and your budget. But I was taught how to budget real estate wise when I first got in. I was very fortunate, whereas a lot of agents are not taught
not
budgeting.
taught that at all.
You're not taught how to budget on an entrepreneur's salary or whatever, commissions. And fortunately, I was taught how to do that. And a lot of that came down to the whole envelope system where you allocate a certain amount of money for spending, you allocate a certain amount of money for gas or whatever.
Certain amount for taxes.
All
blah,
of
blah,
that.
Yeah.
And what we do is we use a real estate card specifically where it's its own world. So I don't even use my checking account for it. Like we have our own real estate card, and that's for real estate expenses. It's not only easier for your CPA, they'll love you for it because you just give them, here's my statements, and every single bit of this was real estate. And then if they have questions, they have questions. But we allocate, depending on how many we have for that month, we allocate a certain percentage based on what we're getting for that month. So if I had one deal, I'm not going to allocate the same I have for 5.
Right.
It just kind of depends. Now, they're going to get the same quality gift at the closing table. It's not going to be any different. But if I know this guy over here drinks whiskey and he's a whiskey connoisseur and that's what he does, I'm going to get him a nice bottle of whiskey to go with whatever basket if he has a wife or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to go based off of whoever they are.
Customization.
Correct.
To match them.
It needs to be based off of what you're selling. So if that month you're selling 1, just understand if you're on an average of 1 a month, like it's different than if you have 5.
Yeah. And if you're just getting started, obviously it's different because you've got to capitally fund that account, really,
Correct.
right? Yeah. Are you, a total sidetrack question,
Sure.
Are you running as an LLC on the real estate agent side?
So I've been told by many that is what I need to be doing.
All right.
And no, I am not.
All right.
So we can go down that path another time.
All right.
When I do what I'm supposed to do. Right, Sean?
Well, when you're ready, just send us the LLC docs. We'll start funding it.
I know, open an LLC, pay yourself a salary, blah, blah,
Blah, blah, blah. Taxes and S corp,
Yeah,
blah,
it's
blah,
fine.
blah. All right. What have we missed as far as personal branding? I mean, you guys are like top to bottom and you're crushing it.
Well, I just want to talk just for a second about the video aspect, especially going back, because I know we hit on it, but we didn't really go deep dive into, like, if you don't do video now or you don't have the funds to pay for a professional videographer or editor or whatever, if you don't have that, not only do you have an iPhone that, or whatever Grant has. Sorry, I had to. I'm so sorry. Not sorry.
If you're a green bubbler,
Just saying. If you have an iPhone, you have the ability to go into 4K. I mean, if you can shoot in 4K and you can have basically your own professional video, there should be no reason you don't talk about real estate, anything on any platform, whether that's Reels, which is the easiest and the best way to do it. Shorts on YouTube. Reels are now becoming a thing bigger on Facebook. Facebook's starting to push that.
yeah.
But when you're talking and you have your phone, you're like, well, what do I even talk about? I don't even know what to do. I mean, you can go on and find any reel that any realtor across America is doing, and not verbatim because you want to make it your own. You need to be yourself, but like take whatever it is that's trending right now and use it, and then go do it again and again and again, and just take all the ideas from there. Another thing is, come up with what topics you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be all about real estate. I think we have one coming out today that's about my favorite restaurants in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, absolutely. Local knowledge.
Local knowledge. Become the local expert wherever you are. The reason why you want the content to go out is not because you just want people thinking that you're doing stuff. The reason the content's there is because you're going to become front of mind.
Yep.
So if you're front of mind, I just had a guy the other day tell me this. He's not in the middle of buying a house or anything. He bought with his last realtor because I guess they followed up with him. But he said, if we hadn't have, I only know you because of your videos. And I told my wife, I said, hey, I know that we already chose dude, but if we didn't have him, like I would have 100% used you. And it was just because of the videos. I never met this guy before in my life.
Yep.
I didn't even know it was a thing. Bethany went to her old school 2 years or last year. I don't remember when it was. And a guy was like, hey, Bethany, right? She's like, yeah. And he's like, and Derek. And I'm like, yeah. It's like super awkward because we don't know who the person is. He's like, I see your videos all the time. They're everywhere. Okay. That's awesome. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And you don't realize the reach that you have, and the people that you're reaching aren't necessarily like, I want to buy right now leads, but they're people that you're constantly in front of. And then when the time is right for those people to buy or sell or whatever, invest, build, they're going to call you.
Yeah.
So, but you have to be on camera. You have to be front of mind.
Got to do it. I walked in the airport one day talking to the flight instructors, and they're like, "Oh, you're out here. You're not actually filming a podcast today?" I was like, "What do you know about the podcast?" They're like, "We listen to it." I was like, "What? Why?"
That's pretty funny. What? Why?
Why?
Why on
You're
earth
flying
would you do
airplanes.
that?
Don't listen to this.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's weird. And then there's that side of us, I think maybe is like dads more so, but of that like safety concern.
Oh.
And that might be something that many people struggle with. Like, do I want to be that visible? Is it scary? I don't think it's scary. I mean, look, if somebody's going to stalk you, they're going to stalk you no matter what. So
It's not even the stalking for me. I understand that fear. It's a genuine fear, but at the same time, guys, everybody, they have access to everything.
yeah, they got access.
You're not getting away from it by not being on a video camera. If you have an Alexa in your home, we're about to go crazy. This is a thing. Like, good luck. Anyways, you're fine. If you want to get on, if you don't want to get on camera, and that's why, I honestly think that's more of an excuse. If it's your kids, because like I'm a little err on the side of caution on certain things with my kids. Like, I get that, but that's because it's my kids.
Yeah.
But me personally, I'm like, get out there, be on a video camera.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Google Trends, for anyone looking for trends, you can go on Google Trends and find the trending topics across different areas, locale, and I think category.
Yep.
And then obviously AI, if you're just out of ideas and don't want to talk about, the Fed raising the rates and how that affects mortgage rates positively, because that's how it works, then call up ChatGPT, pick a letter. Clearly I haven't eaten yet today. Holy shit. ChatGPT and say, hey, give me something to talk about in the real estate space regarding blah in 2023. Yep. And it'll spit out some ideas. Derek was making fun of me earlier because I'm like rummaging through the chip boxes and like reading the packages on the Teddy Grahams. I didn't know Grant was going to be late today. So I was like, dang, maybe I'll just go grab a taco real quick. And then he's like, no, Grant will be here at 2:30, which was 9 minutes before I was begging for tacos. So, and then now we're going to go raid, one of our fellow agents, broker open house.
Dude,
of all of her food.
Dude, I hope she has some good food.
Hopefully there's like 18, what'd you say you bought this morning? 18 boxes of donuts.
Oh yeah. Hey,
speaking of personal branding.
Yeah, speaking of that, you can also, and I'm going to go, this is a little more like, it's not necessarily personal branding, but it can be part of it. If you create what's called a Frank list, I was introduced to this by one of my sales coaches back in the day. A Frank list, acronym with a C, not with a K, but your friends, relatives, associations, neighbors, and coworkers. And if you jot down 20 names of each column, if you can get 20, obviously if you can't, you can't. But come up with 20 from your best friend. Let's start with friends. Best friend all the way down to an acquaintance that you would be like, yeah, I could probably be friends with that guy. 20. And then same with your relatives, same with your associations. You're like, what's an association? Well, were you in a fraternity?
Nope.
You go to a gym?
Nope.
Do you fly airplanes?
Yup.
Okay, so pilots, other pilots, you're associated with other pilots. Whoever you're associated with that's not necessarily golf clubs.
If I went to a gym, I'd go to yours though.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You are 5 seconds from it.
I am.
Bethany told me to ask you about that, by the way.
About what?
Why you don't?
Why I don't? Because man, me and gym culture, like I struggle.
That's why Anytime Fitness is so great. You
yeah.
can go when no one's there, and then you don't have to worry about any culture.
Perfect. I agree with you. That's a great angle. Also, I am far more out of shape than I should actually admit on this.
We have personal
but
trainers.
The other day,
sorry,
the personal trainer group.
Yeah. Branding.
I did a. Oh my God. It was embarrassing. I got 8 push-ups out before I fell on my face.
I don't know. I haven't even tried push. I couldn't imagine. I don't even want to try. Should I try right now? No.
No, you shouldn't. Because
Absolutely
you
not.
do like 85 and I'd be
No.
like, yep, that's how weak I am.
No.
But I promise you, mentally, I can do some crazy exercises mentally. But
And you got me beat there. So, yeah.
I can handle stress, but I can't handle any weights.
Where were we at?
Where were we at? Oh, association. Sorry. What's N?
I'm like, where are we at? Oh, yeah. So associations, we're done with that. N is neighbors. So if you've ever, like, any neighbor you've ever had. So when I went to college at MTSU, I still live in Murfreesboro, of course. So any neighbor that I was even surrounded with, hung out with, any neighbor that I had in my past, like I just sold, oh man, this is crazy. They saw our videos. That helped, but they were my neighbors when I was 25 years ago.
Wow.
And growing up, they would bring sourdough bread. I did a video on this, but they would bring sourdough bread over to our house. It's the best sourdough bread I've ever had.
Oh, we talked about this at dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So these people, but I'm just saying 25 years ago, they're neighbors. They were neighbors at that time. And sure enough, I sold them a house and here we are. So neighbors, any neighbor you've ever had in your life, that you can get a hold of their phone number and contact information, et cetera. And then coworkers, and you're like, yeah, but I'm a realtor. I'm like, perfect. You as a realtor can still get business from other realtors. I know very prominent realtors that get referrals from other agents, and that's how they built their business. Yes, you're going to give up 25% referral fee. Who cares?
Cheaper than Op City.
It's cheaper than Op City, or it's cheaper than most of the other things you're going to pay for anyways. And it's a qualified lead that's done. All you have to do is take it. So
Yeah.
and I'm not even talking about those coworkers. So for instance, I worked inside of Best Buy as a Comcast Connection Center specialist. What does that mean? All I did was sell Comcast to people trying to buy TVs and annoy the crap out of them. But all the coworkers that were there, perfect opportunity. I've sold, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe 10 old coworkers from Best Buy just because I followed up with them like, hey, how you been? I hadn't seen you in a while. Oh yeah. Well, you've already got the connection there.
Right.
So any coworker of any job you've ever had, boss that you had, I sold a boss of mine once. Like you literally come up with a 20 of each one of those and you can use that as your sphere if you don't have a sphere. If
That's
you
a
feel like you do.
fantastic tip.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like use that, go through and call each one of those. You can put it in alphabetical order and, call your A's in 1 month, or maybe your first week, call all the A's, and your second week, all the B's, whatever. It's just that way you can keep in contact. And then when you get to the end, start over.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? You're not asking them, hey, who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate?
Yeah.
It's just, hey, how you
What's
been?
up, man? How's
I haven't
life?
talked to you in a while. Ford, family, occupation, recreation, and
Yeah.
dreams.
Train stars, school, sports, success.
Sorry. Anyways, it's just another acronym.
No, I love that though. I've been in sales for a really long time. I've never heard of the Frank list. So,
I hadn't either.
yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great tip to get started.
Yep.
Because we have, in our Simply Start book, we have like this whole like memory jogger list of like, what doctor and dentist and this person, that
Yeah.
person, all these things to like try to spur
Jog
it.
a memory.
But with this, I mean, these are all the people you already know. If you don't have a sphere, quote unquote, you have a sphere.
You do. You just don't know where to get 'em.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic.
That's the easiest place to look.
Yeah. I love it. Cool, man. We're out of time.
Yep.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on any of the platforms, any social. One of the best places to go if you want to just get a good laugh, but also have some type of educational content is YouTube. You can literally search at the Trainer Group, or you can just search my name, Derek Trainer. That's our Smart Moves YouTube channel. You can go on Facebook. You can search Derek Trainer on there. You'll find both me and then obviously our Facebook page. You can search our handle at the Trainer Group on Instagram. That's a fun one to follow too. If you want to email me or contact me, 615-496-5860 and Derek at thetrainergrouptn.com.
Bam. I appreciate you, homie.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
fun.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for bringing Appy along.
Yo, what up, dude?
What up, Appy? All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. You can find us everywhere podcasts can be found. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.
Hey guys, it's Swy. Thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you got some useful information and we made your day a little bit better. If you're interested in joining the movement of realtors getting their time and life back, check us out at joinsimpliHome.com on the browser, at simpliHome on socials, or in the description. See you next week.